The Serengeti greets the morning not with silence, but with a slow awakening that feels as ancient as the earth itself. Before the first rays of sunlight can carve their way over the distant horizon, the landscape vibrates faintly with the pulse of life stirring beneath the cool veil of dawn. A soft glow spreads across the grasslands, revealing millions of blades shifting under a gentle breeze. Every rustle, every movement hints at a story unfolding, a narrative written long before humans ever learned to record time. Dry earth exhales a dusty aroma, mingling with the faint scent of wildflowers that have survived on dew alone. The darkness lifts gradually, allowing the world to reassemble itself into a living mosaic of color and sound. From the top of a weathered kopje, a lioness surveys the awakening land. Her fur, kissed with faint scars, reflects the pale orange glow spreading across the plains. Her eyes, golden and sharp, carry the silent weight of responsibility. 3 small cubs nestle in the hollow beneath the rocks, still sleeping after a long night. She watches over them, not only as a mother but as the pillar of her pride's future. Hunger tightens her stomach, but it is the hunger of purpose, the drive to sustain life in a place where survival is never guaranteed. She senses the distant murmurs of hooves and the soft calls of animals gathering near the last remaining watering hole. A long drought has drained much of the Serengeti's resources, but the lioness knows the patterns of this land better than she knows her own heartbeat. She must hunt, and soon. Far across the open plains, a herd of wildebeest stands restless in the silvery light. Their bodies are dark silhouettes, but the tremor of their movement sends faint vibrations through the ground. Zebras graze beside them, stripes shimmering faintly as the sun's color deepens. Their breaths rise in soft clouds, disappearing as quickly as they appear. The herd senses change approaching, predators, storms, or migration, they cannot know which. Their instincts warn them to stay alert. Each animal's life depends on the ability to read these invisible cues, passed down through generations like an inherited language. Hidden beneath the golden grass, almost invisible, a mother cheetah waits. Her sleek, spotted body is perfectly aligned with the earth, her head low, her muscles coiled in silence. Her amber eyes track a young gazelle lingering away from the herd, its gait uneven from an old injury. The cheetah's breathing is slow and measured, each exhale blending with the morning breeze. Her 2 cubs, nestled behind a fallen log, watch her with unblinking trust. They do not yet understand the patience that hunting demands, nor the razor-thin line between hunger and survival. Their mother must succeed not for herself alone, but for them. As the sky brightens, the sun finally breaks free from the horizon, a molten disk casting warm hues across the plains. Shadows stretch long and thin like fingers reaching across the land. The lioness descends from the kopje, her paws silent as she slips through the grass. Another lioness emerges nearby, her presence a silent acknowledgement of the hunt they must attempt together. Communication between them requires no words, only subtle movements, long-practiced synchronization, and instinctive trust. But just as the lions begin their approach, the plains erupt with a deep, rumbling vibration. The wildebeest stand frozen for a heartbeat, ears lifted toward the sound. From beyond the far hills, a cloud of dust rises like smoke. Then the thunder of hooves comes rolling across the land, a sound that shakes the earth and echoes through the bones of every living creature. The great migration has begun. Tens of thousands of wildebeest pour over the horizon in a ceaseless flood of movement. Zebras and gazelles merge into the living river, their bodies flowing across the plains with the unstoppable force of ancient instinct. The migration disrupts everything. The planned hunts of lions, the cautious strategies of other predators, and even the routines of smaller creatures. The lion's carefully plotted hunt collapses in the chaos. The gazelle the cheetah targeted disappears into the mass of bodies. The plains transform from quiet stillness into a storm of dust and life. The lioness pulls back, her initial frustration fading as she watches the powerful herd rush forward. She knows that the migration always brings opportunity. Hunger can wait. The flood of life will soon force the animals toward the Mara River, a place where predators gain advantage and the land's most dramatic battles unfold. As midday approaches, the sun's heat intensifies until it feels like a burning weight pressing upon the land. Mirage-like waves shimmer across the horizon. The grass crackles underfoot. Elephants step into view, emerging from sparse woodland like ancient guardians. Their wrinkled skin gleams with dust and scattered mud, and their slow movements contrast beautifully with the restless panic of the migrating herds. They travel in a tightly knit family circle, the young staying close to their mothers. In the center walks their matriarch, her tusks long, curved, and worn. Her knowledge guides the herd across lands that have changed, burned, revived, and changed again countless times. High above, vultures circle with wide, effortless wings. They are patient travelers, waiting for nature's inevitable endings. Their silhouettes glide in circles, watching the story unfold across the plains. Even in death, nothing in the Serengeti is wasted, every creature plays a part in the cycle. By afternoon, the migrating herds reach the Mara River. The water surges with recent rainfall, strong and deceptive. The riverbank is lined with mud, trampled by generations of crossings. Crocodiles lie in wait beneath the surface, their ancient bodies gliding silently, eyes barely visible above the waterline. They sense the vibrations of thousands of hooves approaching. They know a feast is coming. The wildebeest crowd the river's edge, hesitant. Their calls grow louder, more frantic. The zebras pace nervously, lowering their heads to sniff the air. Fear mixes with urgency, it is time to cross, yet danger lurks below. As pressure from the herd builds from behind, a single brave, or desperate, wildebeest jumps into the river. The others follow in a surge of instinct, plunging into the swirling water. Chaos unfolds. Waves splash, animals struggle, hooves thrash. A crocodile lunges from the depths, clamping onto a young calf, dragging it under in a violent twist. The herd pushes onward, forced forward by the rest behind them. Thunderous splashes echo along the riverbanks, dust clouds rising from both sides. But most of the herd survives, emerging dripping and exhausted onto the opposite bank. This is where the lioness and her pride lie hidden, waiting. The lioness launches into motion with remarkable precision, targeting a wildebeest weakened from the crossing. She brings it down swiftly. Her pride surrounds her, but they respect hierarchy. Mothers eat first, especially those with young cubs. The lioness, after long days of hunger, finally tastes relief. Her cubs will be strong again. Evening descends slowly, bringing cooler winds that carry the scent of rain. Dark clouds gather on the horizon, heavy and promising. Lightning flickers now and then, illuminating the plains in brief, electrifying flashes. Animals lift their heads toward the sky. The elephants rumble softly to one another, guiding their young toward safer ground ahead of the coming storm. The rain begins gently, then intensifies. The downpour sweeps across the plains in broad sheets, drenching the cracked earth, replenishing pools, and turning dry soil into fresh mud. The transformation is immediate. The warm scent of wet grass spreads. Birds shake their feathers. Gazelles leap playfully through the shallow puddles forming in the lowlands. Even predators pause to feel the cool relief wash over their tired bodies. The lioness tilts her head upward, letting the rain spill over her face. Her cubs tumble around her paws, energized by the sudden chill. For the first time in many days, the land feels revived. The drought's heavy grip loosens. Night falls with a hush. The storm drifts away, leaving clear skies full of stars. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a streak of cosmic dust, glowing above the vast plains. The Serengeti at night is a place of wonder and hidden movement. Hyenas call out with their eerie, echoing laughter, moving swiftly through the dark as they search for food. Their keen noses lead them to the remains left by the lions near the riverbank. They feast noisily, celebrating the land's eternal cycle. Owls glide with silent wings, scanning for small mammals sneaking through the grass. Frogs croak along the river's edge, their voices blending into a symphony. Fireflies blink like scattered stars caught near the ground. The river flows steadily, reflecting the moon's silver glow. The cheetah moves under the cool night, leaving her cubs safely tucked in tall grass. She has waited for the temperatures to fall. Nighttime hunts are difficult but necessary. Tonight, luck is with her. She spots a small Thompson's gazelle separated from its group. She gives chase with astonishing speed, her body stretching and contracting like a spring. Within seconds, she brings the gazelle down. She carries it gently back to her cubs, teaching them once again how survival is earned. As the night wanes, the river calms, the predators retreat to sleep, and the plains quiet down. Stars fade one by one as dawn approaches. A pale glow touches the sky, signaling the return of another day. With sunrise, the Serengeti awakens again. The herds continue their migration, moving to new grazing grounds painted in fresh green by the recent rains. Birds fill the air with song. The lioness climbs her kopje once more, surveying her world with renewed confidence. Her cubs are stronger now. The elephants move steadily toward distant water sources. The cheetah grooms her cubs before retreating into shade. The vultures circle, knowing another day of life and death will unfold. This land, wild and unforgiving, remains one of Earth's greatest theaters of life, a place where beauty and danger coexist, where survival demands resilience, and where every sunrise writes a new chapter in nature's unending story. The Serengeti breathes with history, thrives on struggle, and glows with timeless wonder. It is a world that endures, forever alive, forever fierce, forever magnificent.